This morning it'll be myself, Ailsa Gibbs, talking to you, and then Enoch from our partner at Accolm. So I think some of you on the call will know me already. I'm an EFT consultant here at Pro2col, and I've worked with managed file transfer solutions for the past 9 years, having previously worked for BT, looking after major customers for most of my career. I've helped businesses of all shapes and sizes implement file transfer with the aims of trying to transform their infrastructure. Projects are quite often driven by the need to increase productivity, ease collaboration, improve data security, and frequently streamline processes. We have clients from financial services, banking, healthcare, and a wide range of industries.
Yes, thanks very much, Elsa. So as Elsa have said, my name is Enoch. I'm an international sales manager for Accolm with many years of IT experience. I've worked with BOM for over 5 years, helping companies from different industries, the banking, insurance, and all that, implement Accolm BOM to provide visibility of their transfers. So it's a little introduction about myself.
So I think most of you on the call are pretty familiar with Pro2col, but for those of you that don't know us, we're independent experts in managed file transfer solutions and have been since 2004, and we've been working with Globalscape EFT in particular since 2009. As you can see, we've implemented a fair number of file transfer solutions, and it is all we do. We have worked in over 30 countries, but our focus is very much on supporting customers closer to home. Each Pro2col senior MFT consultant has over 7 years experience in the industry, and as I've said, we don't do anything else. File transfer is what we do every day. We currently have over 300 customers in the UK and Ireland under support contracts, plus others elsewhere, and 93% support and maintenance renewal rate, of which we're very proud. And we frequently get glowing reports about our support and how we assist customers through their life cycle with MFT. Those of you that do know us will know that we're keen to make sure that we share our expertise around file transfer with you to help you maximize your return on investment in your investment. So we run a range of LinkedIn groups, including a Globalscape user group. For those of you that aren't in it, there'll be a link at the end, and we can send out a link after the event. We publish regular top tips. Those might be about new features. They might be about how to make the most of an existing piece of capability, an interesting use case that somebody's worked on to try and help you see how you can get more out of your existing EFT. We also offer a program called Certified File Transfer Professional. It's a vendor-neutral program looking at the basics of file transfer. And if you're interested in that program, it's one you can study online, or we can come to site to deliver. Please contact your account manager for more information. And finally, we've now assessed by the British Assessment Bureau as ISO 9001 certified, which is often important to your procurement colleagues, and we are currently addressing ISO 27001. So there's some of our customers, not all of them EFT, a wide range of customers though on a different range of products. We've worked with organisations across all industry sectors, helping in different ways, from needs analysis, helping them identify what problems they need to solve, identifying the right solution for them, installing the solution, health checks, ongoing support and maintenance. So today's session is all about BAM, the Business Activity Monitor. So I'm going to hand over shortly to Enoch, who has a couple of slides to summarise the features and benefits of this particular module. But the remaining time today will be very much focused on a product demonstration. Feel free to submit any questions as we go along, and if we don't get them all covered over the course of the demonstration, we will have a question and answer session at the end. And again, if we don't get a chance to cover them all, we will come back to you all post-event. So I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Enoch, who's just going to take you through the last couple of slides before we move on to the demonstration.
Thank you very much, Elsa. So we have the agenda here. We're going to talk about Accolm, a little bit about our business, and then we'll talk about Accolm BOM. Then we will go on why do we have BOM, or why did we develop BOM. Then we will talk about the benefits of BOM. Then we will have the demo walkthrough where we will show you what BOM really is and the benefits and how it will help you to have visibility and reduce cost as well. So we have here about Accolm. We are an information technology and security company. We have 15 years experience in the managed file transfers, and we provide managed file solutions for Globalscape EFT, Help Systems, Go Anywhere, and IBM Sterling. And we have offices in Sweden, USA, Argentina, and in Ghana as well. So basically, what we're going to talk about today is Accolm BOM, and this is a web-based tool and a perfect complement to MFT product. It provides visibility, analytics, and notifications. It's useful for both business and technical users. So it's being used by hundreds of customers worldwide. So BOM is a useful tool. So why did we develop BOM then, you might ask? We saw the need when we're engaging with our customers when we're implementing EFT solutions. So customers wanted better visibility into the activities of the EFT, and they also needed self-service capabilities, not always dependent on the admin. So they wanted less dependency on the admin and support team. So that is why we decided that we would develop BOM. What are the benefits then? One, it reduces costs associated with administration and support, since the users are not going to be dependent a lot on the admins. You can search for file transfers, check their statuses, provides alerts if expected files are not being delivered on time. So this will help you meet your SLA, and by meeting your SLA, you drastically reduce response times. Visibility of how MFT server is being used is also provided in BOM. Also, visibility of business processes that runs on the MFT server. You can see that in BOM as well. It helps admins and support staff in faster problem detection and resolution. All of these benefits will be highlighted during the walkthrough demo. Okay, so we have here the BOM dashboard. As we've defined already, BOM is business activity monitor for EFT server. We all agree that EFT is a great product. It does what an MFT product is expected to do, no doubt about that. However, the challenge is that most of the files being moved by the EFT server are being moved because they are being used in a business process, and they are non-technical people who are interested in knowing what is happening with their transfers. So these business people or non-technical people want to know the status of their transfers. Normally, what happens is that these business people go chasing the EFT administrators to find out what is the status of their file transfers. Sometimes this goes fast, they get fast response. Sometimes it goes slow because the administrators are busy. They don't have time at that particular moment. And if the admin is not in the office, then bad day for that business person who wants the information about his file transfer. So this is where BOM comes in to complement EFT to provide answers to questions like, has the file been sent? Has the files been received by the partner? Has the partner sent the files? Were they sent in time? Did we meet our deadline and our SLA? BOM addresses these questions in an easy and non-technical manner. So what I'm showing you now is a dashboard of BOM. When you log into BOM, by default, you will see the organizational dashboard showing you in real time. If we talk about real time, I know you are in UK, the time might be a little bit off, but you can see that the times that is shown here on this transaction page is what is happening in real time in the EFT server. So whatever is going on in real time in the entire organization is reported in aggregated form in BOM. Why do we say in an aggregated form? The information that you see on the dashboard here, assuming you have multiple sites in your EFT server, sites for maybe different purposes, aside from some groups in the organization, this will be put together and BOM will report them in an aggregated form on the dashboard. So right from the dashboard, you can get a high-level overview of all the activities that the EFT is doing or what the EFT is doing. So some of the things that is on the dashboard represent as widgets. So we have on the dashboard as widgets, and I'm going to talk you through the widgets that we have here. And the first one we see here is the SLA. And as you know, SLA is service level agreement. And if, let's take for an example, if we have a bank as our partner who says, I can only process your payment within the same day if I receive the payment files at a certain time in the morning. So let's say the bank said, okay, if you want me to do the payments for your customers, send me the files at 9 a.m. If I get the files at 9 a.m., then I can process this payment in the same day. If you can define these conditions, then you can go on and define them in BOM, and BOM is going to monitor these conditions for you. So the widget that we see here are the SLAs that we have defined in this BOM environment, showing us that we have 2 SLAs passing and 0 of them failing. So we are good today. For today, this is showing us that we have no failed SLA. The next widget that we have here is the transaction widget. In BOM, we use the terminology transaction to refer to all the actions involved in moving a file, but not just file transfer. So you know that in the EFT server, the EFT server can upload files, encrypt files, compress files, and then send it to another place. In BOM, we record or we take all these actions, these multiple actions, into one and represent them as transactions. So in here, we can see that we have 463 transactions, and we have 459 transactions which are outbound. So we have inbound and outbound. So right here, we can see that BOM is giving us the visibility that we need into the EFT activities, what it's doing exactly. We can know from just a glance that we know how many files were sent in, how many files were sent out. Also, to the next widget here is the transaction widget showing us success and failed transactions. So this can also point us to the right direction, how many files are failing. So as we mentioned, the benefit of BOM is to detect problems quickly and to resolve them. So right from this widget, we can know that, oh, today we are having 113 transactions that are failing, and we have 089 transactions that are successful. So we can quickly determine the transactions that are failing and the ones are success. Also, we have to the next the participant widget. And in BOM, we use the term participant to represent any entity either sending files to the EFT server or receiving files from the EFT server. So anything the EFT server interacts with is defined in BOM as participants. So if, say, you have an external partner bank or a logistic company, DHL, that you deal with, they can be classified in BOM as participants. And at the time I was starting, I said BOM shows information in a user-friendly manner. In here, we have 5 participants. And we can see that if you go to the all participants that I have here, you can see that it is a proper names which have been used to identify these participants. So even a non-technical person or a business person can understand that we are dealing with a partner called BOM, a partner called bank, or a partner called DHL. So the participants can be grouped into 2. We have partners, which are the external partners that we deal with. So in this environment here, we have the bank and the DHL. And also, we also have applications. These applications are the internal systems that interact with the EFT server. So for example, the SAP, the CRM, the HR software that we use to exchange files with the EFT server, this is termed as application in BOM. So in a whole in BOM, we can define participants as partners and an internal applications. So this is participants. So we can see right from here again that at the dashboard here, BOM is showing us today that we have 3 participants that have no issues and 2 of them have issues. Any of this here, we can drill down to see the details of the problems that these participants are having, or we can also drill down here to show the transactions that are having problems. So if I click on this 114 transactions that are having problem, BOM will show me all these transactions that are having problems, and I can quickly know who is the sender and the receiver of these transactions. As well as if I also click on the participants, I can know which participants have issues. So in here, BOM is showing me that DHL and our internal application CRM are having problems today. So once again, BOM is helping us to detect the problems. And if we have a solution, we can dig into it to find what solutions find solutions to the problems we have. So it's showing us today on these widgets, we can also change the time period. So here we can change the time period to 1 week, and BOM will go out and compute and tell me during 1 week how many participants were having issues and how many were not having issues. In the same way, we can do for all the other widgets also to change the time period. So here we can change the time period to the current month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, or we can customize. Here the customization means that I can decide from 1st June to maybe 1st July, show me all transactions that were successful or that were failing. Also, we have other widgets that gives us information. We have the pie chart here showing the percentage of failed transaction and the percentage of successful transactions. Also on the right here, we have another widget showing us the top 5 participants. And here they show us the data that has been transferred. And this can help us determine who are the participants using much resources of our EFT server. We also have the latest 5 transactions here. And on this latest 5 transaction is presenting to us in real time the 5 transactions that have just occurred in the EFT server. So it quickly shows us the sender and the receiver here. We can see that once again, BOM is presenting this information in a non-technical manner that business persons can understand and know what is happening. This helps them really not to depend much on their administrators. They can do things themselves. So this visibility will empower them to have their own self-service capabilities. knowing what files and the statuses. So if you look here, it shows us the status of the file immediately. If you click on the more here, it will take you to the transaction page. And on this transaction page, that is where you can see the individual transactions. And on this page, you can see the date, the file name, the sender, we have a receiver, and we have the status of this transaction. So quickly, once again, this page, you can see in a glance what has happened to your transactions. You can see the status. The same thing on this page, you can do some filtering here. If let's say I'm looking for a file that DHL sent us as a business person, I don't need to rush to the administrator, where the administrator has to go and look through the log files to check if the files has come in successfully. All that I can do is I can filter here using the sender, because I know the sender is DHL, and I can select DHL here and apply. Then BOM will show me, I say, show me all these files. BOM is going to show me in this time period, this hour time that I have. BOM will go out and show me all the files that DHL sent us. You can see the sender is DHL. If this information is not okay for me, but I want to drill down, I can click on the date here, and there will be the transaction dialog, which will show me a little bit more information about this transaction. So here I can see the DHL. I can see Accolm, which is the name of our EFT hub, is the receiver. I can see the time, start time. I can see the end time. I can see the time taken. This was really quick, so it took a shorter time. So the time here means that this is the total transaction, including maybe the EFT picking the file, zipping it, compressing, and sending it out. This entire transaction took this this time here. Also, I can see the status here, and I have the transaction ID. Then I have the business value of this transaction. Then I have the site, because in the EFT server, you can have multiple sites. So BOM shows you exactly the site that this transaction took place and the number of files that was involved in this transaction. You can also see that this is just an upload files, the action that was taken. If this information is not okay to many people, this is okay. Or if you need more information, you can drill down here and see. You can even see the source, the file size, the file name. We have destination, the destination path, the transfer time. We have the transfer type here. And this you see that is a user account. So this means that the partner uploaded the file into our EFT server. And in EFT, we have event rules also as a type of transfer. So we have the user account name, the protocol that was used to transfer this file. We have the site being demoed, the node on which this transaction took place. Then we have requested action completed successfully, and the status is successful. So you can do other filtering also. Here you can filter by file name. Maybe you are expecting a file and you have the file name, or you don't have the full name. Let's say you know that the file contains pay. I can just type pay here and filter it. BOM will go out and show all files that has the name pay or had the pay in it. And I can see all these files here. In the same way, if I click on this, it will pop up the dialog for me, and I can see all the actions that took place. Once again, I showed that there's a detailed information that you can view. If you are an administrator, as I said, BOM is not only for business people or non-technical people. Administrators can also benefit because they can view the logs of this transaction. So the raw logs that the EFT registered, they can find it here and they can look through and they can see what really went on in this transaction. So you can see that the final transaction said transfer completed successfully. So on this page, it will empower the business person or the non-technical person to have self-service capabilities. They can know the status of their files. They can search for files. There are so many things they can filter on. They can filter on file name, the sender, receiver, status, protocol, user account, event rule, site, business value, nodes, business unit, and transaction ID. Let's say if I want to, I'm asking myself, show me all files that was not successful. I can choose show me all files that failed. And if I apply it, BOM will go out and show me all files that failed. Even to make it so nice, I can say that first, let's choose sender, which is DHL. Sender DHL, I choose DHL. And I said, show me all failed files that was sent by DHL. So I will go there and choose fail. Then I apply. Then I can see all files if I have any. So during this period, I have no files that was failing from DHL. I can reset also. So this is the transaction page where you can do many of these things. On this page too, you can customize to show other information. You can show the file size or the site or the protocol. So if I want to show the protocol, I said protocol apply. BOM will show me the protocol that this transaction used. And BOM will ask me if I want to set this layout as my default layout. If I say yes, the next time I come in here, BOM is going to show me this layout that we have here. So now for now, I'm going to say no. So this page will give us the self-service capabilities. It gives us the status of the file that we have. There's other feature on this page too. Assuming this transaction has failed and I'm a business person, I don't know how to solve this problem. What I can do is I can click on the email here and BOM will compose email with a link of this transaction, and then I can send it to an administrator. Then the administrator is going to click on the link and go directly to this transaction, and he will dig into it, drill down into it, and be able to see the problem and then resolve the issue as well for us. So that is the transaction page. In the EFT server, we just don't move files. Although all those transactions we saw, those transactions, everything that happens in the EFT server relates to a business process. The files that are being exchanged belongs to a business process as well. So one of the things that we can do within BOM is to define these business processes. So in BOM, we call it solutions. By default, we name it solutions, but every organization have their own way of calling these business processes. Some call it flows, jobs, integrations. So in BOM, you can rename this solution title here into any name that suits your organization's choice. So solution in BOM is a definition of business process. So in this demo, we have two solutions. We have the bank solution and we have the DHL solution. So an example of a simple business process is that our partner bank that I mentioned earlier agrees to process our payment for us. This means that we need to send the payment records to the bank. Then they will have the information about that payment. And if they process this information, this payment, they will send us a reconciliation file. So here we are going to send payment records to the bank. Then the bank will process the payment and then send us the reconciliation file. So this is a business process. And in BOM, you can define this business process in BOM. So we have here these two business processes defined. We have one, the bank solution that has been defined. So this is between the finance department and the bank. So that is how we define business process in BOM. What does the business process do? When we define this business process, BOM will monitor this business process. It can help us to track all transactions that are related to the business process. So you can see that this definition, the bank business process that I have defined, if I click on this solution, BOM will go out and show me all the transactions that are related to these defined business processes. And once again, I can filter information as we did at the transaction page. We can do the same thing, the same features that we have here. So one of the benefits of the BOM is that BOM can help us to segregate information or separate business processes transaction from each other, and that will help us to quickly search for transactions. So if you want to create a business process, as we have in mind now, we are going to send payment information to our bank. Then our bank will also process the payment and send us reconciliation file. So to do that, we can come to the admin and go to solutions and create a solution. So we can create a solution by name payment process. Then we describe it. Then here we have, you can choose the components that you need in these solutions here. So here we can choose either a user account is involved in this solution, event rule is involved, a site is involved, a partner or application. You can choose any of them. Here we're going to only choose a partner, which is the bank that is involved in this solution. Then we have an application called the finance application that we're going to use. If we know the file name that it's involved in this, you can also enter the file name here. Then you can choose other information also here that you want, the business value and all other information that you need. Then we have the business unit that this solution is related to. Also, you can have access control for this solution. You can choose who's supposed to view this information. If you want all authentication users, you can use groups, or if only the administrator is supposed to see it, you can pick that one too. Then if you create these business solutions, then it will be shown here at the business solution page here. Then BOM can go out and track all transactions that is related to this solution. So as we know, in a typical organization, solutions can become a lot. There are a lot of business processes that will be defined in BOM. And because of that, it will be difficult for a business person to come and look through his business solution. What you can do is, if you are interested in any of the business solution and you want to keep an eye on it, all that you need to do is to star it here. So if I start this solution, it becomes my solution. And when I come to my solutions, I will see it here. So when I log in and to BOM and I click on solutions and I click on my solutions, I will only be seeing the solutions that I'm interested in. Then I can click on it quickly and drill down to see the transactions that are related to these solutions as well. So if I start my solution, one benefit of BOM is that it will not only show me here, I can have my dashboard also, because I have shown interest in solution. It's not only that. If the participant that I mentioned, if I come to all participants and I star any of those participants as my participants, here I can star them as my participant. Then if I come to my dashboard, BOM will be showing me only the things that I'm interested in. You can see that I have not shown interest in any of the SLA, so I'm not seeing any SLA. I've shown interest in some participants there, so it's showing me the participant that I'm interested in, and also the transactions and all other things here are the same. But this is only the things that are related to me, that I'm interested. So it's quickly, when I log into BOM, I can set this dashboard as a default dashboard. And when I log into BOM next time, BOM is going to show me the dashboard, my dashboard, so that I can quickly have an oversight of the things that I'm only interested in as well. So this is my dashboard, which shows only the things that I'm interested in. Also, within an organization, we have groups of people with different responsibilities. We have the concept of business units. So the business unit is any group within an organization that can be uniquely identified. So in this demo, when we click on the business unit here, in this demo, we have some business unit defined. We have the finance unit, we have the logistics unit, we have the marketing as well. So the logistics business unit are the ones that are dealing with DHL and having the logistic application that they use to generate delivery documents. And the finance unit is the business unit that deals with the bank and the finance application that we have. So in BOM, you can create this business unit and tell BOM who belongs to this business unit. Once you do that, if you want to create a business unit, you come to the business unit at admin section here. Once you do that, BOM will ask you if you want to create a dashboard for this business unit. So you can see here that we have enabled all the dashboard for all these three business units. So when you do that, we have business unit dashboards here. So if you come to the business unit dashboard, let's take the finance business unit. It's going to show us only the things that are related to this business unit. So if I am a business manager for the finance department, this is the dashboard that I will usually come to look at, because I want to see how the finance business unit are performing. I have to see the transactions, what transactions are successful or failed. Today, we have no failed transaction. That is a good day for that. Also, we can customize this dashboard, set it as a default dashboard. The other widgets that we can add to this dashboard, same as the organizational dashboard or my dashboard, we can customize each of these dashboard. And as we know, the organizational dashboard is for the entire organization. So maybe the head of IT might be interested in this organizational dashboard. But as an individual person or as a business owner, you will be more inclined to look at the business unit dashboard, because it will limit the information that you are supposed to see. If you are an administrator and you have a right to view the overview of the business unit, you can have an overview of this business unit. It will show you all the business units which exists, a high level of it, the SLA, the transactions, and the transactions inbound, outbound, and all that. So you can have a quick overview of the business units, how they are performing. So BOM helps us to have a quick visibility into all the activities that are happening in the EFT server. It also helps us to detect problems and to solve them quickly. It also gives these self-service capabilities that we mentioned earlier on, and this helps to reduce the time the administrator has to go through digging into the log files and finding out what are the problems and to try to resolve them. So this reduces cost, administrative cost for the EFT operation. One other important thing that we mentioned earlier is the SLA. We know that SLA is crucial to any organization. If you're not meeting your SLAs, then it's going to affect your business operation very well. As we said, what is an SLA? Once again, let's use our bank scenario. Our bank says that I can only process your files, your payment, if you send me the payment files by 9 a.m. If you want me to honor your payment in the same day, then send me all the files that is needed for this payment. So if we can define this criteria, then we can set it up in BOM, and BOM will go on and monitor it for us. So we have it here, SLA. If you want to go there, we go there and create an SLA. We can create an SLA for a participant or for solutions. But in this case, we are dealing with a participant, the bank as a participant. And they want us to send them files at a particular time. So this is how we create the SLA. We give it SLA files to bank. So we give that files to bank. Then we give a description. In here, the participant that we're going to deal with is the bank, because the bank wants us to send the files to them at 9 a.m. We don't want to miss it, because if we miss it, they are not going to process our payments. So we choose the bank. And here, the direction, it can be inbound, outbound. In case we also give a criteria that, okay, bank, if we send you the files and you process this payment, send us reconciliation file by 5 p.m. because we need to get this file to run down our operations for the day. Then it can be any direction. So we're going to send the files to them and they are going to do that back to us. But this case is outbound, so we're only going to send it out. Then we have if you have the file names, if you know exactly the files that you're going to send with the names, you can do that, you can enter them. Then we talk about the expected files. Maybe the bank said at least, because we don't know the total number, but at least we need to receive one file from you. So one, but you can increase it from this side. So at least one file, we need at least one file from you. If we get at least one file, then we are okay. Then we choose the transaction status. How do we get a notification? If it is successful, then we get a notification about it. So we get that. Then the transaction frequency, we have the hourly, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. So here we're going to do daily because we're supposed to send them once a day. Those files has to go at a day. So we choose the day. Then we select the time. Is it between, after? But this, they said at 9. So by 9 o'clock, these files has to go. So we said 9. So we choose the 9 there. We choose our 9 o'clock. So we have it here, 9 o'clock. And we create the SLA. So now BOM will go out and monitor this SLA. So if by 9 o'clock, no files has been sent to bank, we will get a notification that our SLA has failed. And we can get a notification on the dashboard as we shown, or in BOM here. Then, so we have this SLA warning. If we get a notification at 9 o'clock that the SLA has failed, then it will be too late for us to process ourselves or organize ourselves to send a file again to bank. So what we can let BOM do is we can tell BOM that, okay, BOM, I don't want to miss this opportunity. I don't want it to be too late for me to warn me. So you choose the enable the warning here. So I can tell them, warn me in 2 hours time that if the SLA has a potential of failing, tell me, send me a notification. So 1 hour. Then BOM will send you a notification if by 2 hours to the deadline of 9, this SLA has a potential of failing, you will get a notification so that you can quickly organize yourself and then send the files before it is too late. So the SLAs that you create, you can see all of them here. We can enable this SLA or disable this SLA. And these are the list of the SLAs we have. So this is how we create SLA, and BOM will go out and monitor this SLA and warn us. For us to get a notification in BOM, we need to subscribe. So we have subscription in BOM as well. We need to subscribe to these SLAs, but it's not only SLA that we subscribe. In BOM, you can subscribe to other things. So if you come here, this is how we create a subscription. And this subscription that I'm going to create is for me as a business person, or for me as an administrator, or as a non-technical person. I can subscribe to many information. So one of them is the SLA expected files, or even file transfers. Any file that is being transferred, I can get a notification about it, or a solution, a business process that I'm interested in, I can get a notification about it, or the organization's status overview. This is like a mini report where you get information about transactions, failed transactions, successful, and other things in your mail. One of the benefits of the subscription is that you don't need to log into BOM. This subscription, this notification can be sent into your mail, where you can receive the information right there without coming into BOM. So let's see how we subscribe to the SLA that we just created. So here we go there and enter a name, maybe SLA files to bank. So that's what we want to subscribe. Then we choose the SLA that you want to subscribe. Let's say the SLA bank, sorry. So if we have the bank by 18 or any of that we choose, then we choose the expiration date of this subscription. Then we choose if we want to receive this subscription by mail. And you choose if you want to be notified if that SLA is successful, or if you want to notify you on the warning that we chose, that by 2 hours to the SLA, if it doesn't become successful, we choose that. So if we don't select this, we will not get the notification about that SLA warning that we enabled. And we can also choose if it fails. Then we save it, then we will be expecting to get a notification in BOM here or notification in our email. So that is the notification. There's another notification that the administrators can really create for all BOM users here. So this is the administrator's notification. It looks the same as you creating a notification for yourself. So if you go through this SLA again, it's the same thing, but this time you can choose the subscriber users, or you can choose the business units that you want them to receive this notification, or you can put in some email addresses of a group of persons that you want them to receive the notification. So this is really good. The administrator can create this notification, and all the groups that he has selected will receive this notification. So in BOM, we can see that it's all about information, visibility into this information, that the activities that the EFT is performing. But does it mean that everybody sees every information that is being generated in BOM? No, in BOM, we have a fine-grained access control that I would like to talk about it. If you come to security here, first, before I touch on the access control, I want to talk about the authentications here. We have Active Directory and BOM authentication. So BOM support two authentications: Active Directory, which we recommend the Active Directory. So if you have your Active Directory, you can use BOM you can use that to have access control in BOM. So what it does is that the groups that exist in the Active Directory, you can add them in BOM, then you can give those groups access. So you can see that we have access groups here. In BOM, we have two roles. We have the administrator and the viewer, a predefined roles, administrator and the viewer. So each of these groups that you have created, you can give that group as a viewer role or as an administrator. When that is done, you can have a fine-grained access control for pages. So page access control. So these are all the pages in BOM. You can decide who can have access to this page here. So if we edit it here, you can see that you can choose other groups, or only administrators should be able to see this also. And the same thing applies to solutions. You can have access control for the solutions that we have created. Who should see the solution or who should not see it. And the same thing applies to the partner access. You can have access control for the partners and application and business units, and also site as well. So in BOM, you can have this access control where you can limit the information that somebody should see or who should not see. So in BOM, we have seen that BOM provides self-service capabilities. And this self-service capability then go on to reduce costs associated with EFT operations. We have a case where before the company implemented BOM, they have 15 people working on the EFT as support and administrative team. After we implemented BOM for them, they reduced this staff to 3. The other staff were assigned to other tasks. Why? Because the users or the business people or the non-technical people have the power. They got the tool to perform their own tasks, like searching for the status of their files because of their transactions or their files. That's the most important question. Was my file sent? Was it sent properly? Was it received? These questions are answered in BOM. So in conclusion, BOM gives the visibility that is needed, and it helps reduce cost, and it helps to also enhance the visibility of the EFT activities.
Thank you very much, Enoch. That was a really comprehensive review of BAM, and I think it's clear to everybody that Enoch spent way too long looking at this product. There's not too much about it he doesn't know in terms of the features and all those matrix of possibilities that it presents to you. I'm very conscious of time, so what I'm going to suggest is that we'll come back to anybody with questions after the session. I think Enoch's just sums that up nicely for you there with an example of the savings that you can generate off the back of implementing this product alongside of your existing EFT infrastructure. So it will help you build on the reporting that you already have through ARM and just go that extra step. And for me, that whole piece around the SLAs, I think, is where we've seen the most interest from customers in terms of how that can help you monitor the solution and drive performance for your internal users. So I'll leave those thoughts with you. If you have any questions at all after the event, please do get in contact with your account manager. You can give us a call or contact Pro2col via the details shown on the screen currently. The Globalscape user group is available to anybody that is using EFT and just wants to start sort of sharing best practice or asking questions within that forum, monitored by our Globalscape team here to provide you with any assistance that you need. We've recorded the session today, so those of you that are running from large organisations and perhaps your colleagues weren't able to make it, we will have a recording of the session available for them to work their way through, and I can get that across to you as required. So it's just for me to say thank you very much for giving up your time, and hopefully if you've got any questions at all, we'll hear from you shortly. Thank you very much.